In the Outlaws Pulling Series, the Superstock classes provide hyper excitement. Turbochargers turn at incredible speeds, propelling these tractors to jaw-dropping velocities and some bucking bronco experiences. These are the e-ticket rides, where the only thing more amazing than the height of the wheel stands is the distance of the pulls. It's championship chase time here in Wisner, Nebraska. And today, we will see who will emerge on top in two of the Outlaws' wildest categories.
In the heart of the Midwest, there's a band of modern-day marauders. Mounted atop their beasts, they line up to throw down. They are outlaws.
Welcome to Thunder by the River in Wisner, Nebraska, and the Outlaws Pulling Series, where a capacity crowd is on hand. I'm Claude Wood, and along with Dave Bennett and Rick Carlson, we will be bringing you all of today's action, kicking things off with the Diesel Superstock class.
With 10 competitors here today, 4 of them's got a lot riding on the line and the pull-off to the championship. Matt Goodwin, the Intimidator. Mark and Tyler Ulmer in the Lost, currently set in second place. Followed by Dennis Sykes, the Naughty Intentions Case IH tractor. Man that sets in fourth but got room to make up, Richard Cool and the Hot Stuff.
Stray Horse, a new tractor being driven by David Henderson.
Man comes out of Spring Valley, Minnesota. The name Stray Horse and Henderson been around a long time. Proud to have him back on the track. And when this man shows up, you know you got one hot running diesel Superstock tractor. Spin and grin, burn and churn, take it to the other end. What a way to start a show. Has a distance of 3:02 and 98. Claudia's going to keep it. This is going to be a great, great show.
And you said spin and grin. He's bouncing a whole lot from left to right. What caused that?
Tire speed and air pressure make that difference. Let's go down to Rick Carlson and find out.
David, 302.98, that's a keeper.
Well, yeah, it didn't seem to be too bad. We'll find out. All the good tractors are left to hooks, so we'll know in a little bit.
Tyler Bachman, 6 top 3 finishes in 2014. His tractor is Born Green.
You don't see a whole lot of John Deeres in this class. The dual exhaust just letting more air pressure out of those turbos. Great big air horn up front, feeding 4 different turbos under the hood. John Deere taking it down the line. Drifted over. You see his track's moving all the way over to that right side. He gets a distance of 283 and 68.
And for the most part, Dave, it seemed like a very smooth ride. Let's check it out on board.
Does for a fact. You just kind of see how it's drifting. He's smart enough not to fight it. Flagman moving over to the far right, just kind of getting out of the way just a little bit.
Our next puller is Troy Arndt. His tractor is Back and Black.
And there ain't no black on it, but it's a new design, a name that he stuck with for many years back. Out of Sac City, Iowa, the home of another outlaw truck and tractor pull during the season. Spinning and grinning, a little bit of too much of a bounce. He's floating on top of the track. He goes 282 and 16. And Claude, as we look at the replay right here, you'll kind of see how he's up on top of the track, kind of floating around. Really never got a hold.
And I noticed, too, a whole lot of steering wheel action back and forth.
Trying to keep it straight so when it does come down, he's pointed the right direction. That's for a fact.
Our next puller is Dennis Sykes. 7 top 3 finishes in 2014. What an experienced puller he is.
Now, here is one of our pull-off to the championship contenders. He needs a good run. Oh, it done a little dido to the right there. Take another look at it here in a little bit. I want to see the replay on this. That is not a pull that he's going to want to keep. That's for a fact. Too much of the track used.
Nice looking tractor, and check out the chrome on the front of the weights. A little unusual there, huh?
Yeah, ain't it pretty? When you make a U-turn in the middle of the track, that is going to cost you distance. He's not going to be happy. Let's go down and talk to him.
Yeah, that wasn't what you wanted.
No, not quite. It took a little bit off the side. I had to use the brake just a little bit. I wanted to stay in the middle of the track, but I just touched it a little bit, but that hurt me on footage. But I don't know where I ended up, but I think whatever it is going to be all right today.
Michael Schultz will be our next puller, coming in getting ready to go. Rick Carlson talked to him earlier today.
Mike, Blackjack 21, neat tractor. Where'd the name come from?
Well, I when I did used to pull a D21, and that's how it all started. I was in a convenience store one day, and I saw a lottery ticket played, and it said blackjack, and I thought, well, that goes with 21. So I stuck with that till the D21, and actually I do call this one blackjack double down, because the guy that put the sheet metal on it for me said, you got to leave it blackjack because everybody knows that's what it is. So that's how we came up with that.
A slick-looking AGCO Alice tractor, one of few AGCO tractors on the track. Michael Schultz, Blackjack 21 out of Marion, Iowa, owns and operates a farm up in that area. Wants to do good with the newer tractor. Getting a hold. You see the smoke went away just a little bit. Every time that front end come down, the smoke kind of varied, but just wasn't dark enough smoke, wasn't black enough smoke. Goes 2, 65, and 71.
And on the leaderboard, Michael Schultz ends up in 5th place. David Henderson way out in front. We'll have more pullers when we come back, including Adam Feschi. Stay with us.
This edition of the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association is being brought to you by Willcross. Good product, good prices, good service. Precision Turbo, the world's foremost manufacturer of high-performance aftermarket turbochargers. O'Reilly Auto Parts, the professional parts people. And by Stage 8, the world's best locking fastener.
Welcome back to Thunder by the River from Wisner, Nebraska. Well, you see the sled in every pull. Dave takes a closer look.
The pulling sled, when a machine hooks onto the front end of it, it's just like you see right now. The back end of the skid pan is actually off the ground and will stay off the ground for a long time. As the pulling machine goes down the track, the turning of the tires brings the weight box forward. When the weight box goes forward, there's a set of switches right here. And when the weight box hits it, it releases the oil in the cylinders holding the skid pan up. So as the weight box comes forward, the sled starts getting heavier. It's transferring the weight off the rear tires. Brings it right up onto the skid pan. But only the front of the skid is on the ground until it hits that switch. Then it drops to the ground. Then, as the weight box keeps going forward, it hits another set of switches. The cylinders expand, pushing the rear end into the ground.
Coming up to pull now is Adam Feschi. Adam pulls with a lot of different associations, and he's a strong puller with the NTPA.
For a fact, this boy comes to play, and he comes to play serious. The tractor's called Chance Encounter. Great tire speed. Look at how dark the smoke is. Look at the ground speed. The best sign you can see is when the flagman is backing up, and folks, we got a new leader at 3:10 and 62.
Man, Dave, this pull was boss all the way.
It was for a fact, and the darker the smoke, the higher that smoke goes in the air, the farther you're going to go down the track, and Adam made it look good. Let's go down to Rick Carlson and just find out how this man likes his pull.
Adam, you moved the flag.
Yeah, that was a pretty good hook. I didn't have to touch the brakes any at all. It felt like the nose carried it. We'll have to see where it stands, though. I know there's a couple back there that could walk right past me.
And here's one of our title contenders. This is Tyler Ulmer. Part of a father-son team, Tyler had 6 wins in 2014.
He knows he's got to do good here to have a shot to win the championship. Oh, my goodness. Left-hand turn, Clyde. Made another one of those U-turns, run out of ponies. Not a type of pull you want to see the Lost do, and not a type of pull the Lost can do. He goes 273 and 81.
Older style tractor, nothing wrong with that, but something went wrong with his pull.
The pressure was on, reweighted the tractor. It's father and son team. I got a feeling Tyler is going to have a thing to say about that.
Tyler Ulmer, not quite what you wanted, I don't think.
No, it wasn't. Dad put me on the right side there, and I a little late on the brake, but it kept dragging me in to the left, and I just couldn't bring it back. And I think we might have been in too tall of a gear, should have shifted down. Really had a load about 200 foot.
Coming up next is David Anderson out of Green Top, Missouri. Outlaw member for many years.
For a fact, runs a farm out of Green Top, heavy-duty farmer. This tractor's been around a long time, very consistent. And he made a lot of changes on it this year. Added a turbocharger to it. He had some problem right there. Never got on top of it. They're already past that 100 foot. He's going to have to live with the distance at 174.91.
And another good crowd on hand today enjoying the action. Up next is Richard Cool. He is a title contender, and his tractor is called Hot Stuff.
New sheet metal. Here's another man that done a lot of work on his tractor in the off season. That's the reason he's a title contender. A good pass right here will put him up in the points race to the championship. Turning right in, motor never give way, but a short distance. Never locked to the track, having to live with a distance of 262 and 75.
Well, Dave, the pull sounded good, but it's not about the sound, it's about the performance.
Well, the problem here is just getting a hold of the track. You see his tire's not wrinkling that much. It could be air pressure. A lot of different deals. He might have been able to go up a gear. Don't know what the problem is, just not far enough.
Matt Goodwin getting ready to pull now. His tractor is Intimidator. Matt is also a title contender.
He is the top title contender. He's the man that's in the lead of the whole bunch, and he is ready to try to take control. Mr. Consistent spin and grin. Look at those tires wrinkle and go to the other end. What a pass. What a pass. A great pull. Goes into the lead at 3:18 and 29. And Claude, it just looked like he knew what he was going to do right from the get-go.
And a good look at the two air horns that feed 4 turbochargers.
Yeah, looking right inside that black grill, there's a lot of air going in there. This man just drove it to the other end.
Good enough to win it by more than 8 feet. Matt Goodwin is your winner. But more importantly, he beat his other championship rivals.
Matt Goodwin, you saved the best for last.
Well, I was last year here on Friday night, and I caught the wind, so I was a little nervous. I was afraid the track might dry out today, but the sun hasn't been out too much. Got a nice pass. I'll take it.
Well, when all the turbos quit churning, Matt Goodwin with that win also propelled him to win the final points championship at the end of the year, followed by Mark and Tyler Ulmer, Dennis Sykes, and Richard Cool.
Switching to Unlimited Light Super Stocks when we come back with Lewis Freeze. And we'll have a lot more from Wisner, Nebraska. Welcome back to Thunder by the River from Wisner, Nebraska. Turning our attention now to the Unlimited Light Super Stocks.
Setting in first place in the pull-off to the championship is Scott Holtgrew in the Voodoo Deer, followed closely by the entire Weens family who shared the driving of the Deer Factor. Then you got the red tractor, Lewis and Glenn Freeze and Red Ink.
Lewis Freeze is our first puller, part of a father and son team. They're corn farmers. This is Red Ink.
Well, being the first one of the contenders in a class of 9, trying to outdo 3, being the first hook, you really got to feel sorry for this young man. He'd like to watch somebody go down the track first. Look at that tire speed. Man alive. 3:13 and 85, burn and churn.
A great pull. Hey, let's ride along.
Well, you're sitting in the seat, them tires are cranking, you're feeling all the vibration, you're seeing this vibration on the camera, you just imagine what the driver's feeling, the motor's really spinning. Lewis Freeze is going to be talking to Rick Carlson.
Lewis, 3:13, you got down the track.
Yeah, I can't complain about that pass. It was pretty respectable, and I hope it holds up and we get a halfway decent placing.
Our next puller coming up, Ryan Frericks on a rarely seen New Holland tractor. Earlier, Rick Carlson caught up with him.
Ryan Frericks, very unique tractor in that it's a blue tractor. Ryan, why'd you pick blue?
Well, I just wanted to go fast, and this was the color, I thought.
How did you get started in pulling?
My dad used to take me when I was a kid. I just was intrigued by the horsepower.
Still having fun at it?
Absolutely.
Family sport?
Yes, it is. I have my 2 boys with me and my wife, and my parents will be here this afternoon.
That's great. A lot of family-oriented tractor pullers out here. Here comes Ryan. Let's see how he pulls.
Well, you're exactly right, Claude. We talk about a family sport. Every one of the pullers in the pit area got their family, and the Outlaws are all family as well. Addiction, the name of the tractor. Little bit of a bounce. Oh, too much of a bounce. Look between those front tires. That is a weight laying on the ground, and that is grounds for disqualification. Claude, you cannot lose any ballast or they disqualify you, and that's what happened to this man.
You don't see many New Hollands out here, but I got to tell you, I do like the smooth lines on this tractor.
It is smooth, but he ain't going to like that bounce, and that weight right there cost him hundreds of dollars.
And our next puller is Colton Whitworth. This is another family operation. They called it AgriLogic Green.
Yeah, the Whitworths, they bring a lot of... Whoa, take a ride, take a ride, take a ride. Hang on, Leroy. Oh, that could have gotten real serious. When them things get that wild, anything can happen. A good job by the sled operator by helping him stop, and a good job by the man hanging on. He'll have to live with 217.24, but Claude, how'd you like to ride on this?
Oh, no, thanks. But when this went wrong, he didn't let up, did he?
Well, he tried to drive through it for just a little bit, but at the same time, you can't get off of it real quick or more serious things can happen. You try to get off the throttle and hope the sled man hits the brake just like Kevin with the Iron Man. He helped him settle it down, backing off of it, making a safe ride out of it.
And continuing on, part of the family, here's the granddad. This is Junior Whitworth.
Worthington, Missouri, runs a tractor called BBI Spreaders, one of his sponsors. He just seen what grandson done, so now we're going to try to outdo that. Drove through that spot, now we're on a run. You bet, on a good run, way on down the track. Goes into second place at 2:94 and 29.
As we go to the replay, was that something on the track?
Just more or less the way you let off on the clutch, the way the tires got a hold and started. You seen this one want to kind of do the same thing. When these boys, all this class, the tire speed that they turn, anything can happen real quick.
Doug Messenger coming up next. He drives Avenger.
Now the Avenger is actually owned by Mark Ulmer, a new purchase. He's letting Doug Messenger do the driving for it today, and all things didn't come together. It's a whole new rig. They've been working on it a whole bunch. Nothing to do with Doug's driving. Just didn't happen for him.
Go to the leaderboard. It's written in red ink. In fact, your number one puller, Lewis Freeze, right now in first place. When we come back, Colin Weens and Adrenaline, plus 3 more contenders will slug it out for the championship.
This edition of the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association is being brought to you by VP Racing, Macon Power, Agency 212, we don't believe in following trends, we unleash new ideas, Sap Brothers, welcome, be our guest, and by Dustless Blasting, it's the future of surface preparation.
Welcome back to Wisner, Nebraska and Thunder by the River. Continuing with the Unlimited Light Super Stocks. This is Colin Weens, another family-operated business, and the tractor is Adrenaline.
When it comes to alcohol-burning tractors, the Weens family knows how to get the horsepower. Colin Weens got his hands full right here. He's trying to hold it inbounds. The tires was turned. The flag flew. He knew he was in trouble. He tried to hold it in. It just was no way to hold this tractor inbounds, Claude.
Wow, too much adrenaline, I guess, on this pull. What in the world is going on this track?
Well, the tire speed. You got to keep in mind, these are lightweight tractors with some awesome tire speed. Look at the dirt flying right there. Gives you an idea how fast these tires are turning.
A good look right there at David Mintz. He's out of Pickerel, Nebraska. He calls his tractor Hole Shot.
A tractor that we don't see on the Outlaw circuit all that much. Case IH sheet metal. Got a good run going. Front end's up in there. Got the weight transferred to the back. Oh, a little bit of a sneeze. He had first place in sight. Just didn't quite get there. He goes into third place at 278 and 47.
We take a look at it. Spotted the sled just about in the center of the track. But what goes on at the end of this pull?
Well, I'm listening to the motor. Right there, you heard that sneeze. It leaned out or something right there at the end. It hurt him.
This tractor is called Voodoo Deer, driven by Scott Holtgrove.
This guy comes into this show as leading in the pull-off to the championship. He's got to make a decent run right here, or the other guys will take over for the lead. Don't worry about a good run. Look at those tires wrinkle. Drive it to the other end. That is nice, nice, nice. For a fact, 324.75.
And a great pull. Let's see how he did it.
Just drove it to the other end. This man is very comfortable sitting on top of this tractor. Very, very comfortable. Just drove it to the other end. That shows why he's such a competitor. Let's go down to Rick Carlson.
Scott, 10 feet on the field.
Good enough for me, but there's still one more to go here. I don't know if I want to get beat by a girl, but it's a pretty good tractor. We'll have to see here.
The look of pure determination on the face of Taylor Weens.
Deer factor. She knows she's got how far she's got to go. That man right there, Scott knows he's got a running, gunning lady coming after him right here, and this gal can drive with the best of them. Don't think this woman can't get in with the best of them and burn and churn. Look at there, the Deer factor going down the track, way down the track, shaking the fist. She knows what she done. She said, look at here, boys, I am there.
Well, you love it, Dave, when a plan comes together, and this one surely did.
For a fact, didn't get too high, just, you might have been a little too high right there, but still yet putting the weight on those rear tires. Watch her fist, watch her fist. Yes, sir, she knows what she done. Let's just find out what she did.
Final results, Taylor Weens puts the voodoo on Scott Holdgrew, winning it by a little less than 15 feet.
Waited to the end and you whooped them.
Save the best for last. That's what I always say.
Not too happy.
No, not at all.
Well, Taylor might have won at Wisner. That set her in place so she could have won the championship, but when the tires quit turning, Scott Holdgrew and Voodoo Deer was your 2015 points champion, followed by Lewis Freeze and the Red Ink and Taylor Weens and Deer Factor.
And that'll put a wrap on it today from Wisner, Nebraska. For Rick Carlson and Dave Bennett, Plogwood, so long. See you next time.